Hey, smack 'em a gob. I got my mentor shirt on, and I'm not gonna fucking bother to put on shorts. Okay, you can't see me now, but look, I got my shorts on. All right, no shorts, mentor shirt, and ready to rock. And I am Dr. Fuck with.
Oh yeah, Wadzilla, baby! I got my Frank Booth T-shirt on.
Right on, man.
My hero.
Fuck Heineken.
Fuck Heineken. Haps Blue Ribbon. Or if you're in a pinch, Rolling Rock.
Mommy.
But send you a love letter. You know what a love letter is?
Yeah. A candy covered clown.
How you doing, brother?
Blue Velvet's awesome.
Fucking A right it is.
You know, I have it on Blu-ray, but it's like one of those regional things. And I have a regional player that can play it.
Nice.
I love that movie.
Nice. Yeah, I got the Criterion version on Blu-ray. Looks amazing, but I'm waiting for a 4K. We got so many David Lynch movies on 4K, but not Blue Velvet. But I will rebuy that in a fucking heartbeat. Love that shit.
Hell yeah. So what's going on, dude?
Not much. Just got off of work not too long ago. So I'm fucking tired, but god damn it, there's no rest for the wicked. So we are doing some fucking Black Sabbath. I'm fucking excited. It's the day before Thanksgiving. This is going to post the next day. And to give our fans a special treat, we're going to give you a 1-2. You're going to get this plus our Q&A that we did live on YouTube.
Where I added some kick-ass music to it.
Yeah, so check that shit out, man. If you didn't make it to the live show or you haven't caught the YouTube video yet. And by the way, motherfuckers, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, smash that like shit, all that, what you have. And yeah, that Q&A was a lot of fun, man. We went for a while. And I'm working with the great Chris Sinzak, hopefully this weekend or next weekend. He's going to help my dumb ass straighten out all this Patreon shit. So that's, you listen to that Q&A, that's just a little taste of what you're going to get if you join our Patreon. We ain't going to break the bank, but it's going to be worth joining because you're going to get shit like this. So it's a little thank you from the Doc and I. Check it out, man. We're back with the vengeance and keeping it regular here, eating our fiber. And man, we're doing a classic one today. You asked, did we do the first Sabbath? I had to look because you realize this July will be a decade we've been doing this show. Wow. Had our little pause, but yeah, a decade of the Rock and Metal Combat podcast. So yeah, we haven't done this and or Paranoid, believe it or not. But fucking A right. I'm ready for it. But before we get into that, we got to give you some fucking news. And man, the one that everybody's been hitting me up, especially, all potential active shooters have 3 names. Mark Allen Taylor has been blowing my shit up about David Lee Roth possibly joining this Sammy Hagar atrocity that's hitting the road. And I think it's pretty funny because, Sammy, he tries to play this good guy. He's the quintessential douchebag, but he always tries to come off like, I'm the nice guy. I'm the nice guy. Yeah, if Dave wants to come out, if Alex wants to come out, and supposedly, I still say this is fake news till I see a video of the man saying it himself, and I know it ain't AI. Supposedly they said, fuck it, let's do it. Let's do it. And now Hagar's like, whoa. Maybe just a show, but you ain't doing the tour because he knows this would take all the attention off of him. And that's all this tour is about. This isn't about fucking worshiping Eddie Van Halen or a fucking tribute. Nobody gives a flying fuck about Sammy unless it's some way tied to fucking Van Halen. And I got to tell you, even if this does happen, and say Dave was gonna fucking, they're playing a show in Seattle, and Dave's gonna be there. I don't think I'd go to this shit.
No,
In
I
fact,
wouldn't.
I pretty much know I wouldn't go. Because what are you going to get? Maybe one or two with Dave, and the rest is going to be this horrible Van Hagar catalog that I don't want to fucking hear. Fucking terrible. I mean, you and I both saw the Dave and Sam tour. We were at the same venue where Dave headlined, crushed fucking Hagar the fucking horrible. I don't want to go to a show where it's a bunch of fucking pedophile douchebag Van Hagar fans. And hear mostly, like shit off of balance, on 50, and to hear fucking Joe Satriani fuck it up like he did on Howard Stern. Boy, I love all these memes that are coming out, like him fucking up the intro to fucking Mean Streets. Yeah. And then all those videos of Hagar's voice crackling. Everybody's like, well, but Sammy can still sing. Yeah, listen to that shit. And tell me Sammy can fucking sing.
I got something funny to tell you. You probably didn't see it. A Nuno betting court.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw what he said about Sammy?
I didn't see that. I just saw like the clickbait thing that says, give Satriani a pass. What do you say about Hagar?
Dude, he was like, it was horrible for Sammy to put Joe on the spot like that. And he bashed Sammy later on because a long time ago, like, I don't know, 20 years ago, I think it was Guitar Player magazine or some magazine wanted Nuno Betancourt to interview Eddie Van Halen. And Nuno was like, oh my God, that's his idol. Is Eddie Van Halen. He never met him. He's like, oh my God, I'm going to interview Eddie Van Halen. Freaked out. They canceled the interview. You know why? Because Sammy Hagar was bitching about it, saying, what the hell? I play guitar. Why can't I interview Eddie? And the Guitar Player magazine said, okay, Sammy. And they told Nuno, you can't do it. Sammy's doing it. What a piece of garbage this guy is. You know what I mean?
I know, no, but he's the nice guy. I see all this shit. I mean, Facebook is blown up with the Dave and Sammy hate. It's at, or vice versa. It's at an all-time high. And I see all these fucking Sammy Hagar fan pedophiles saying, "Oh, Sammy's classy. Fuck Dave and his ego." You want to talk about ego? Here's the difference. Dave can do an interview without talking about Van Halen. He can do one without talking about fucking Sammy. But Sammy can't do one without, doing the same shit. It's, me and Eddie were best friends on his deathbed. If that was true, Alex would be involved in this shit somehow. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. And I still doubt that Dave said this. And if he did, I think he's calling his bluff. And it just got proven. Now it's like, he's doing the whole tour. He can do one song.
The thing is, I totally believe Dave did it. Dave did say that because Dave is insane now. I'm sorry. I don't mean to badmouth him. And I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
Dave seriously has mental issues. I mean, look at his Joe Rogan interviews. The guy is just out there. He's not normal. And for him to say, oh, I'll do the Sammy thing. He's crazy. He'll do it because he's crazy. But here's the thing. Dave, by being invited by Sammy, Dave, you know what he thinks. Look, I'm David Lee Roth. You're going to invite me on that tour? Then that tour is all going to be about me now.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to go with you. Yeah, I'll do the tour. But here's my thing. I headline.
No brown M&Ms.
No brown M&Ms. You're opening, Sammy. Fuck you all. That's how Dave thinks because he's insane. Oh, you invited me to your tour? Okay, I'm going to take over your tour.
And he
that's Dave's philosophy. And then Sammy's like, oh, fuck no. Because Sammy, look, and that's Sammy before said, he said it many times. Oh, I invited Dave to come up on stage so many times. And then afterwards he said it. He said it again on Howard Stern. But this time, somebody went to Dave. Hey, Dave. He's all right, I'll do it. And Sam was like, what? Because when Sam said that on Howard Stern, there's no way in hell that him and me thought Dave would accept that. I'm like, there's no way Dave would. And that's the only reason he brings that up. It's kind of like what Gene does when he says, well, I asked Ace and Peter to do it, and I'm mad and angry now that they won't. But they want money, and you won't pay them that money. So that's your thing about fans. And Sammy Hagar, the way he built this tour, like it's for the legacy of Van Halen, it's for the fans.
Yeah.
Well, the fans want Dave, and you won't give them it. And you also can't put Van Halen tribute on your show because it's not endorsed by Alex or Dave or Wolfgang. So you got to call it the best of all worlds.
Yeah. Where's Gary Sharon? I want Gary Sharon to come out there and make Sammy look bad.
I don't care, man. I think Gary Sharon's better than Hagar. I thought Van Halen 3 sucked just as bad as the Van Hagar albums, but it was only one, so that makes Gary better than Sammy Hagar. But
a thing that I love, for all these motherfuckers, they had 4 #1 albums with Sammy Hagar. Okay, well, who sold the most overall? The Dave. Who had the biggest tours? The biggest Van Halen tours ever were the reunions with Dave, not their 2004 reunion with Sammy Hagar. Okay, so there you go. The people want fucking Dave. The masses want Dave. The pedophiles out there want Sammy Hagar. They're all fucking, they like, they're the worst kind of pedophiles. They want to be fucked by children. Not fuck children. They want to be fucked by, because they can't get it up. There's only one way to get it up, and that's to listen to Dave. Yeah. They want to get fucked in the ass by children. Whether it's a little girl with a strap on or it's a little boy cock up their fucking ass. That's what they're into. And shitty music.
Yep.
It's in the Bible.
Yeah.
Jesus said that shit. I'm just repeating it. I'm just the Lord's vessel.
Jesus hates Sammy Hagar.
He does. That's why he gave him those fucking terrible lyrics.
Jesus hates Mark Allen Taylor too for talking about hurting somebody. And Jesus pissed at him too.
Yeah. Well, he's really pissed because he goes to the same dentist as Jesus, and it's making him look bad. That in the mirror. Love you, Mark. Gonna be on your show soon. God damn it.
Yeah. I can't wait for that episode.
That's gonna be fun. And get Terrence. I want Terrence on that fucking show. God damn it. I want some star power.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get somebody else to listen.
Yeah. You lost Chuck Charles. I want the Mooger Fooger and fucking Terrence. Balance that shit out, and Jerry. But this fucking abortion of a fucking tour. I'm not gonna support this shit. I'm not gonna go to it, man. I saw. The closest I can see to true Van Halen, with the Wolfgang shit. But
you talk about Sammy Hagar fans being pedophiles and stuff, and this is actually from 2 Sammy Hagar fans we know.
Yeah,
they're liars. They love to lie. They lie a lot. Mark Alden Taylor, everything he says a lie. Then the other one we know is Bushy, the guy that said, "Fair warning is not as good as Oh You Wait One Too." He doesn't believe that. He's a Sammy fan, therefore he needs to lie.
And Bushy also said that boy was 18, and I know damn well that boy wasn't no 18.
That boy wasn't even 8.
Yeah. But he still said it hurt, Anywho. Yeah, fuck this fucking tour, whether Dave does it or not. I could give 2 shits less. They're not getting my fucking money. Last time I saw Dave, it was with Eddie, and I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm done with Dave too. Hey, I got my memories.
Yeah.
Everybody just loves to shit on and never acknowledge how amazing he was in the 80s.
Yeah, and I was gonna go. If you remember, my wife bought tickets to go see that fucking End of the Road crap when Dave was opened up, but when it was announced he wasn't open up anymore, I'm like, I ain't going. Fuck that shit. Because I saw multiple videos from that tour. Some I thought Dave sounded like shit. Other ones I thought he sounded damn good. I'm like, I'll go. I'll go just for Dave. But I'm not going to put money in fucking Hagar's pocket.
Me neither.
There is the novelty of potentially seeing Michael Anthony and Dave together. But anymore, I'm like, fuck Michael Anthony. Fuck him in his non-singing ass. He made his fucking bed, now lie in it, You fucking chose wrong. You're on the wrong side of fucking history with Sammy fucking Hagar,
Who would have thought back in the 80s, like, back in like Diver Down Sport, that one day that bass player will be married to Sammy Hagar and become Sammy Hagar's wife.
Yeah, not his wife, his bitch. Michael Anthony is Hagar's bitch, and it's a shame, because I do think Mike got treated like, shit, by Eddie and stuff like that. But you know what? You let it happen because you knew that was the goose that laid the golden egg. And maybe sometimes just a bitch is a bitch, he could have stood his ground and not signed his rights away, but he did. What else he gonna do? Play fucking the opening of a bar with Sammy? Fuck that shit.
Yep.
Fucking bitch. All right. I got another bitch fucking story here. Before we get into like metal news, this is just some rock news. This is some random shit I saw. But man, I thought of you and I was like, man, let's take out this bitch right here. This is some bitch who writes for Ultimate Classic Rock. And I had to see this shit. It was Beatles' White Album, songs ranked worst to best. Now, if you got two fucking ears, what's the worst song on the White Album?
Revelation 9?
Yeah, Revolution number 9. Fucking A-Right. Everybody knows. It's common sense. It's like, who's the singer of Van Halen? David Lee Roth. Common sense. Worst fucking Beatles track. Revolution number 9. Well, this fucking pickle whistler over here, there's 30 tracks on the White Album. Fucking Revolution number 9 came in at 25.
All right, I got to hear, what did he felt was worse than that?
Worst song, he says, on he or she. They don't say a name. Because a lot of times, I see rankings like this, and when they're really shitty, I'm sorry if I sound misogynistic here, but a lot of times they're written by women. And I'm like, ugh. Either that or an 18-year-old boy who doesn't even know what pussy smells like. This just says Ultimate Classic Rock. No author. Worst song, Wild Honey Pie by McCartney.
I like that one.
All right. At 29, the second worst song, Good Night.
Yeah. You know what? I got to agree there. I don't like that song.
Still not worse than Revolution number 9.
Not worse than Revolution number 9, but it's the second worst on that album, I think.
Exactly. Okay. Number 28, Don't Pass Me By. This motherfucker hates Ringo.
I love that song.
I love Don't Pass Me By.
That's awesome.
Now check this shit. This shit's really going to blow your mind. At 27, The Continuing Story of Bungalow Bill.
Yeah, this person's an idiot.
Yeah. Love that fucking song.
Me too.
Next song says, this is 26. Has Revolution. Honey Pie. Really? I love Honey Pie.
Great song. Great little ditty.
Yeah. So, and then Revolution number 9. Okay. And then let's go to the number 1 song. Now, while not a bad song by any fucking means, this person picked the number 1 song as While My Guitar Gently Sleeps.
I would put that right above Good Night. I hate that fucking song. And I hate the acoustic version too. I don't like that song at all. If there was no Revolution or Good Night, that'd be the worst song off White Album for me.
I will go on record. I absolutely love that song, but this is one of those Monday morning quarterbacks that says George Harrison was the greatest Beatle. I'm like, really? Out of all the songs of the White Album, you're going to give that number one, and you're going to pick 5 songs that you think are better than Revolution number 9.
You know what my favorite song on the White Album is? Probably low on this idiot's list. Is I'm So Tired.
Let me see here. Let me go back to this.
That's my favorite song off that album.
Let me go fuck. And this guy got paid to do this shit. That's what's really sad. I'm So Tired was number 11.
Wow.
So, and he said, everybody's got something to hide except for me and my monkey was number 10, which, again, I love that song.
Yeah, I love it.
But above So Tired, above Your Blues,
no.
Above Glass Onion.
Glass Onion, probably my second favorite off that album. No, Rocky Raccoon. No, Blackbird, though, man. Dude, that album is so good. That's why they are the greatest band ever.
Oh, yeah. This guy, he had Blackbird at number 5, but he said it's very problematic and will trigger, people because it's called Blackbird. I'm making that up, of course. But, yeah, what a fucking idiot. And this guy, we should get paid for giving real good opinions here.
Well,
this
I do.
Motherfucker.
Actually,
that's true. That's true.
I get paid well.
That's true. That's true. I need to step up my game because this motherfucker right here, that shit just pisses me off. He probably likes Sammy Hagar too, motherfucker. So yeah, fuck that piece of shit right in the ass.
Pedophile.
All right. Yeah, exactly. Let's see what old Blabbermouth's fucking bitching about right now. Let's see here. Yes, I'm continuing without supporting you. I'm sick of your ads, Blabbermouth.
Actually, Michael Sweet is very anti-Sammy. I don't know if you've been seeing what he's been writing.
Yeah.
Oh, he's constantly bashing on Sammy.
What?
He's like, man, you disrespect David Lee Roth. You wouldn't be in Van Halen if it wasn't for David Lee Roth. I mean, he really goes out of his way to bash Sammy Hagar. Never says anything nice about him.
Right, and I have my disagreements with Michael Sweet, whatever the fuck his name is. But it's in the Bible. If you believe that shit, read your fucking Bible. The shit about Sammy Hagar is in Revelations. It's the end of the world. And if you look at everything, you look at the world. Perfect example. What do you always say? Everything was better 1984 and before.
Yeah.
The minute Sammy Hagar joined, everything goes to shit. 9/11, the wars we got now, horrible fucking movies.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Ian. The reason why Van Hagar was so popular, because after 85, shit that sucked got popular. A lot of crap.
Yeah, like getting fucked in the ass by kids. That's a thing now.
The Breakfast Club.
I love The Breakfast Club.
That's a Karen movie if ever there was one. I actually watched it the other day and I'm like, this is so shitty.
Yeah, it was made in 84 though.
That guy, I don't like that dude. Yeah, I'm sorry he died, but I don't think he's done. I didn't like Weird Science.
Oh.
The guy that made those.
John Hughes. Okay.
I didn't like Weird Science. I didn't like Candles, 16 Candles. I didn't like The Breakfast Club. I didn't like anything that guy did.
Now you're just crazy.
And that's why Van Hagar was popular, because shit like 16 Candles was popular.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason shit like Short Circuit was popular. That shit's fucking horrible.
Look at Night Ranger. They fucked after 1980. That was their last good. No, 83.
Well, speaking of shit that sucked, not only since 85, but since 1978, Ace Frehley will release a new single next week called 10,000 Volts. And I don't know. Are you still under a gag order?
Yeah.
Not special. Okay, so
I think I'll always be under a gag order when it comes to that.
okay,
But
all right.
yeah, I'm a
Well,
huge Ace fan. I love his last albums, but he's got the guy from Trickster helping him on this album.
yeah.
I'm thinking, this is my wishful thinking. Maybe the guy from Trickster was holding back and kept his good material for Ace because obviously he had no good material for Trickster.
Well, apparently Ace really loves working with this guy because they're already talking about working on their next album together, and it's going to be a sequel. It's like not only to the new album that's coming out, but to Trickster because it's called "Give It to Me Good."
Wow. Is Alice Cooper going to guest on it?
No, no, even he won't go near it. No, but yeah, I can't wait to hear that shitstorm. But I will give it an honest, like, hey, I'll listen to it. If I like it, I'll be the first one to tell you, and I'm wrong. But I got a feeling I'm fucking right.
Yeah, I'm worried about this one.
All right. Well, Metallica's James Hetfield says, my guitars are the conduit from my higher power through my body. Oh, boy.
And look, man, it's James Hetfield, the biggest rock star on the planet. His ego's inflated, and so what? Let it be inflated. I was listening to his podcast the other day, and this guy was talking about that. There's this stadium in Detroit.
Yeah.
And he named all these bands he saw at that stadium. Mm-hmm. And he said, I went to go see Metallica, who just played there. I have never seen that many people. And he went both nights. I mean,
they're breaking records like crazy.
Yeah, they sold more than Taylor Swift, and my point is, yeah, man, the guy's got a huge ego,
Yeah. Well, my friend just saw him in St. Louis, and they broke apparently it's even broken Sammy Hagar's record for St. Louis. Shows you what a shithole St. Louis is.
Oh, yeah, that place, St. Louis. I have a meme somewhere. A guy, a Hagar twat, cussing out some dude in St. Louis, and he said, "You should get the fuck out of my town for liking Sammy." And I go, "Yeah, dude, you should leave St. Louis, because it's filled with twats like this."
Yeah,
I know. I'd leave St. Louis.
Why could Osama bin Laden hit the fucking the arch there? Leave New York alone.
Yeah.
Oh God. All right. Yeah. So yeah. But I'm like, okay, your last album sucked. Why drag Jesus into it with you too? That's kind of terrible. Blame Jesus. For load and reload. Fear Factory's Dino Caveras, or however the fuck you say that, says new singer Milo Silvestro on new singer. He says, if you close your eyes, you'll think it's Burton C. Bell. And if you close your ears, you'll be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Close your eyes and close your ears if you want to hear Burton C. Bell.
Yeah. Not a big fan. Not a big fan.
Fear Factory sucks. I love a Soul New Machine. That was to me, a pretty groundbreaking album. Their first one. It had these elements I never heard before. It was heavy. It was awesome. Then the next album,
Demanufacture.
Down tuning crap. It just wasn't exciting anymore.
I like a few songs here and there, but overall, it doesn't do it for me.
I saw him on that first tour with look at this lineup: Megadeth, Korn, Flotsam and Jetsam, by the way, opening for Korn, which is disgraceful. Yeah. And Fear Factory opened it. And Korn wasn't famous yet, but I remember people in the crowd had an ear of Korn on a string around their neck. I mean, a bunch of them.
You should have pulled it off and shoved it up their ass.
They probably did, but Fear Factory was okay. They weren't that great, but it was on the first tour, the first album. So I love that album. Flotsam was awesome. And I never heard of Korn before. And I watched them and I was like, oh, what the hell is this crap? But people went crazy. I saw Korn too open for Danzig. And opening the whole show was Marilyn Manson. It was
I saw fucking Disturbed open up for fucking Danzig. That shit
Me
was
too.
disturbing.
Me too. In Revolution, and I believe it was the singer Disturbed came up to me and gave me a demo, their demo.
Yeah.
Disturbed was, brand new, unknown, and
Yeah, is that what he was doing? Like he was in the orange jumpsuit and he's getting electrocuted and shit. And
I don't even
I
remember.
don't know. I saw it was like 6 feet under. It was Disturbed 6 feet under in Danzig. Yeah, they suck too. They suck too, and their fans suck. If you're a Disturbed fan, get in line behind the Sammy Hagar fans to get shot. Fucking die. Let's see. Oh yeah, but Fear Factory. Yeah, I saw Fear Factory open up for Ozzy on when he did the club tour before that fucking horrible Osmosis shit, and yeah, nobody liked him. Phil Anselmo on Pantera's return. I know for a damn fact Vinnie Paul and Dimebag would have wanted us to do this.
I don't know. I don't know
bullshit.
about I don't know about Dimebag, but Vinnie Paul would definitely not want this to be happening.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly my feelings too. Yeah, I think Dimebag would have. I think if Dimebag would have lived, Pantera would have got back together. I think that's a given. But yeah, no, I mean, fucking Vinnie Paul went to his grave. He wouldn't want this shit. He would not want Phil and Rex making a damn red cent off this shit. I mean, that being said, hey, I'll go see it.
I'm going to see it. It's coming. Yeah. It's opening down here. The first date of the tour is down here.
Yeah, you lucky bastard. But yeah, I think that's kind of, how can you say that when, I mean, he did from the time Dimebag died till he went to his grave. He was like, no. And I mean, he could have sold out 1,000,000 times and said yes. Think he made any money with that fucking hell yeah bullshit? That shit was garbage. Hell yeah. Hell no. Hell no. That shit was terrible. Terrible.
I felt the same way about Damage Plan. I was heartbroken.
I love Damage Plan.
I thought that album was like really feeding into what was popular at the moment.
I mean, there was definitely a modern feel to it, but I dug it. I still like that album.
Yeah, I thought it was.
But I don't know what the whole thing is with that Patrick Lackman or whatever the fuck his name is. Wackman. Apparently he was a major fucking D-bag, But I was excited, like him coming from Halford and everything. I mean, nobody knew who the fuck Bob Zilla was. Bob Zilla. Bob Zilla. Get the fuck out of here. I got to trademark this shit. Let's see, what else? Greta Van Fleet on why they don't play to a click track live or in the studio. Who gives a shit? That's a horrible fucking band.
Horrible.
That's a horrible fucking. Who listens to that shit?
Mark fucking Taylor.
Millennial fucking ugh crap. Paul Stanley's flu forces cancellation of Kiss's Toronto concert. But apparently they've already announced a makeup date on the We Were Just Kidding tour in 2024. So don't fret, you fucking Canucks. Oh my God.
There's a lot of Kiss spots in Canada, I've noticed.
Yeah.
But they're nice.
Yeah, they're nice, but I don't even fault them. What do they probably get like 3 channels, and probably like 8 months out of the year. It's a fucking frozen tundra. And 2 of those channels are fucking hockey. And the other one's like goes back and forth between Degrassi High and fucking Kiss. So fucking Canadians. Love them. Geddy Lee, speaking of fucking Canadians. This effing guy who just wrote My Effing Life names the hardest Rush song to play on bass while singing. And I was curious of this. And he said it was The Anarchist off of Clockwork Angels.
That's a great song.
Yeah. Great fucking album, man. What an album. Yeah. I mean, so fucking strong. So... yeah, good shit. I got a fucking cat crying. They're pissed Daddy got home and came straight out in the garage to fucking record. But god damn it, this show takes precedent. Let's see what else we got going on here. Gene Simmons says he's not a fan of cell phones, and cell phones hate Gene Simmons.
Well, I know all you, and including you, Ian. No offense, all you twats out there that are against cell phones. I'll tell you.
That's me.
I'll tell you this. I'll give Ian credit more than fucking Gene Simmons, who is fleecing people, charging them all his money, and they go see your dumbass, and you're bitching about them being on the phone. Ian has more right, even though I don't agree with it. Ian's the kind of guy that's like, I am against cell phones at shows, but I'm totally for a drunk guy yelling lyrics into your ear so you can't hear the band I'm singing. That I'm for that, you know. But whatever. Nobody is paying Ian to go up to Ian with a cell phone.
But here's
and let me tell you something, Ian. If you were getting paid like they get paid, Kiss, which is $1 million a show, you're gonna go up on stage and complain about cell phones? Fuck no.
I would. But here's my thing. I think Gene has a valid point.
I don't.
Because these people out there with their cell phones are filming what they're selling for so much. And then they're gonna look at that and go, why would I go see this fucking sham? You know, they're playing the wrong song. You know, look how shitty this show is. I don't want to go. It's hitting him right in the pocketbook.
You know why I'm all for cell phones 100% at shows?
Was it?
Because let's say a band I like is opening their tour in Timbuktu. I get to see it the next day online because of some guy in his cell phone. Well, and you check out cell phone shit all the time. Yet you complain to people. But boy, if there's some footage online from something that happened at a show and a guy filmed it with a cell phone, you'll click play.
Well, here's the thing I'll say about you. I'm gonna give you a pass here. Not that my opinion matters jack shit. When we went and saw Rush, you locked in on it and you held your phone down.
Yeah,
and took video. I'm talking about these cocksuckers. You know, you're paying a lot of money. Like, say you're on the floor to show, and you got some asshole holding up his phone like this the whole fucking time. And that's why I went and saw fucking Les Claypool when he was doing the animals shit and everything. And there were some fans down there, like, they're holding up vinyls and everything. You know, Primus vinyls. And he's like, hey. He's like, I'm so glad that you bought, you know, those records. You know, you put my kids through college. But the people behind you probably don't appreciate not being able to see shit because you're holding this shit up the whole time. And I love that. And that's what I hate. I don't know. Me, I'm the guy. I want to be in the moment. Even if I'm drunk and I forget this shit, at least I feel like I was part of it. But you got some fucking jackass who probably... And you know the guys, 90% of the people doing this fucking phone shit aren't real fans. You know what I mean? They're just like, hey, Fred in accounting, look what I did the other night. I went to a rock concert. You know, and they're holding this shit up. They're blocking views of people who paid. You know what it costs to go to a fucking concert nowadays? And you got all these pricks in front of you with a fucking phone? Fucking prick, fucking millennial, fuck Sammy Hagar, cocksuckers. Fuck that shit. Unless you do it polite like Ralph and hold your phone down. Yeah.
I don't mind, man. Somebody holds up their cell phone in front of me, I'll move a little to the left and a little to the right and continue to enjoy the show.
Yeah, well, you're a nice guy, Ralph. Nice guy, Ralph. That's gonna be your new fucking nickname.
And you're a prick, Ian, because you're all drunk people yelling in your ear during shows.
Yeah, no, fuck them
I
pricks
go to
too.
shows to remember it. Okay, I pay money for a memory, not a drunken haze.
Well, pull out a Kodak Discman and take a fucking picture.
Well, all I can say is that I don't mind cell phones. I'd rather have all drunk people kicked out of the show so I can enjoy it. Oh, all drunk people that know the lyrics. The drunk people that don't know the lyrics, I'm fine with them. I'm 100% fine with them. As long as nobody's screaming in my ear. I remember when I saw Zakk Wylde, that happened. And I was like, my God. and it was one of those acoustic shows. And you know, I'm a big fan of Book of
Shadows.
Book of Shadows, and when he was playing Book of Shadows show songs that I never ever seen him play before, some drunk is singing the song in my ear. It sucked.
Yeah, I don't do that. I might piss on your leg, but I ain't gonna sing this shit.
I'd rather you piss on my leg than scream in my ear. Seriously.
No, that's why I love going to shows with you. Sharon Osbourne says on Ozzy, it's been devastating to watch somebody who puts money in your bank account be sick for so long.
No, what she really means is it sucks that this guy that could put money in my bank account is still alive. I can't wait till he dies so I can let out all that Randy Rhoads material I've been holding on to.
Oh, no shit. No shit.
They're you know, I brought this up on The Only News That Matters on YouTube. That the rumor is, you know, that there is a pro shot Diary of a Madman show filmed in Largo. Now, for all you bootleggers out there, there's a million pro shot shows from Largo. Aerosmith, Night in the Ruts Tour, Heart, Bebe Lestrange.
Kiss.
You're all full shows, cameras, because that arena had screens. So they were projected on the screen, and bands would ask for a recording. And Sharon asked for a recording. This was all a rumor. Well, there was like 2 people that left comments going, actually, that's true. She does own that. Like these people, I guess they know the inside stuff. They're like, there's totally a pro shot show, but unfortunately, the arena gave her the only copy.
Keep telling people about this sad story. I'm going to go take a piss.
Yeah, screw Sharon Osbourne. She kicked Randy Castillo. She kicked Phil Suzanne in the knee in front of Randy Castillo's casket that was open. There's Randy Castillo dead, and with Phil in front of the casket, and Sharon goes up to him and kicks him in the knee. What a woman. There's also a story where she threw the drummer of Motorhead, which wasn't Mickey D at the time, down a flight of steps. I actually caught that on the Osbournes. Like Kelly was telling, Mom, remember when you kicked the drummer of Motorhead down a flight of steps? And she's an evil, evil woman. Yes, because of her, Ozzy's still alive, you know? And Ozzy is her cash cow. And her whole thing is really, man, it's like Ozzy fell in love with her when she was very unattractive, very huge. You know, she wasn't going to find anybody like Ozzy because Ozzy was making a lot of money at the time. When he bit the bat and all that shit, he became huge. And she's like, oh, man, this is perfect, you know? So, yeah, she's been using Ozzy this whole time. And she wants Ozzy to die. I don't believe for a second she cares of Ozzy's health. I just don't believe it for a second. She's an evil, conniving woman, and people love her. That just shows you how people are. Right, Ian?
Yeah, fuck that bitch.
Yeah, there you go.
I was at a show one time. Sharon Osbourne was right in front of me, holding up a camera phone the whole time. Fuck her. And singing.
Yeah. She got drunk once and screamed in my ear. Some fucking, you know, when I went to go see the Thompson twins. She got drunk and screamed those Thompson twins hits in my ear.
She ruined my whole Cold Chamber show. You know, she's like, I manage these guys. They're going to be huge.
Cold Chamber. What a terrible fucking band. I saw them at Space. Yeah, me too. You know, but God, they were terrible. What a shitty band.
Speaking of terrible, I'm afraid to even listen to it. I haven't seen a good response. Apparently, Dave released another song from this unreleased John 5 album called Wash and Fold.
I heard it.
Yeah, you heard it? How bad?
Yeah, it's bad. It's better than the last 5 of them, though. I like the first one, over the Rainbow Bar and Grill. I like that one, and this one I kind of liked. It's not heavy. It's weird, but I dug it. I mean, I didn't think it was great, but I thought, all right, out of all these songs they've released lately, that's the best one out of all of them. That's how I felt.
Maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. Don't look good. That's my hero. I don't want to see it.
Ah, just live off the past glory, man. Dave is never going to be Dave again. It's dead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here we got some sad news. There's another new Megadeth guitar player.
It's official. Kiko ain't coming back.
Nah, fucking Cuckoo LaRue. Fucking, I don't know. He's still taking a extended hiatus.
I got to fill my glass.
Yeah. So now they got this new dude, Timu Asimami Baba. I don't know what the fuck his name is. This guy's playing guitar now for Megadeth, and it's a collective who gives a shit. I mean, on the upside, they usually do get, great guitar players, but, until you let them write, you're going to get shit like The Sick, The Dying, and The Dead. I guess Dystopia was a fucking fluke. God damn it. Get Chris Poland. Get Chris Poland back. Then I'll give a shit. Fucking Megadeth. Overrated. Fucking shit. Fucking Risk. Fucking, what's that other horrible one besides Risk? What's the one where fucking Vic Rattlehead's crawling out the fucking stomach? The one with Al Pitrelli. Yeah, because that's what I think of when I think of Megadeth. Fucking Al Pitrelli. Megadeth needs to make an album with that Michelangelo Sambello dude that plays the fucking 17 neck guitars.
I thought Mike Petrelli did a couple really good albums. Stand By for Pain by Widowmaker. Unbelievably great album.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. But anyway. Shit. See what else we got. I'm getting drunk. Let's see. Kiss announces epic New York City takeover to celebrate the band's final show ever. I wonder what the fuck that's going to be.
Well, when
I hope there's a fucking terrorist attack. That's what I hope.
When I went to New York in 1996 to see 3 of the 4 Madison Square Garden reunion shows, New York was all about Kiss at that time. Anywhere you went, it was Kiss Mania. It was great, man. I had a great time being up there and seeing, the only reason I didn't see 4 shows because my friend Eve,
I love her.
It was her birthday on Saturday. So we saw a Thursday, Friday, and Sunday show.
Yeah, and she said Saturday I want to see a good band.
No, Saturday we went to a bar and we celebrated her birthday at a bar, but it was Kiss Mania. New York was all about Kiss. Everywhere you went, it was something about Kiss. It was really cool because at that time the Kiss squats weren't in full effect.
I hear you there. All right, what else we got? Oh, some good news. Band we talked about last week. Saxon just announced a new album, Hellfire Damnation.
Did you hear that song?
Yes, I did.
Man, was that good.
I got a little worried when it started with that kind of like power metal fucking like that stupid ass Man of War like narration and shit. I'm like, uh-oh. And then it kicked in and I was like, fucking A. And I read the article and I'm still kind of confused. I don't know if Paul Quinn's involved at all on this. Or if it's all with Brian Tatler. But goddamn, what I heard sounded good. Better than the new Judas Priest, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Blows away both those songs.
Mm-hmm. And produced by Andy Sneap again, from Judas Priest and, producer, current metal producer extraordinaire. But I dug it, man. I mean, if this is any kind of indication of the album. And you know what else I liked? 10 fucking songs. 10 fucking songs. Not overstaying your welcome. Hopefully they pick the 10 best. But either way, I'm so 10 songs all you fucking need. unless it's a goddamn White Album. And then you only need 29. You don't need that 30th track, that fucking Revolution 9 shit.
Or Good Night. That's what I like about the White Album is that it ends with those two songs. So you just,
and I never hear them.
you just turn off number 9. I don't bother with Good Night.
Yep.
I think the song before is Cry Baby Cry, and that's awesome.
Oh, I love that song.
I think that's the song before Revolution 9. I could be wrong.
But yeah, those are probably two of my least ever heard Beatles songs is Revolution number 9 and Good Night.
Yeah.
And I think actually I've heard Good Night more than Revolution 9. But yeah, so New Saxon, man. Fucking A right. Fucking A right. Stones announced a new tour. I don't know how I feel about that. They're coming here to Seattle, but it's on a Wednesday. And I got a new job and I don't have a lot of leave. So I don't think I'm going to go. I've seen the Stones a bunch of times, but without Charlie, I don't know. See, the thing is, I would have to see the set list. And if the set list doesn't like totally blow me away, yeah, I ain't taking a day for that.
You know, I've never seen the Rolling Stones.
That's insane.
I know.
That's insane. Now I got to see them
play in Orlando.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, shit. I saw them. Shit. Last time I saw the Stones was twice in one weekend. Friday in Miami and Sunday in Orlando on the fuck's that one album?
Steel Wheels?
No. Steel Wheels I saw at Alpine Valley. Voodoo Lounge I saw at Soldier Field. Bridges to Babylon. Yeah, wasn't a good album, but great show. Yeah, real good show. But hey, I got to see him with Bill Wyman. So there you go.
Oh, you saw him with Bill Wyman?
Yeah, on Steel Wheels, they still had Bill Wyman.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember, I think I talked about it. I got all pissed because I saw the Stones and the Who in the same summer. And the Who came out and played for 3 hours. So I just thought that all classic rock bands played for 3 hours. And the Stones only did 2, and I felt robbed. But
the Who I've seen a lot. I saw their farewell tour in 1982.
Yeah. Oh, that had to be a good tour.
Oh, it was awesome. And then when they reunited, I saw them do the full Quadrophenia album. That was amazing. Then I saw them do all of Tommy. And
yeah, they did Tommy when I saw them.
I've seen the Who about 5 times.
Right on. Only saw them once. But hey, I got to see the Ox, man. Got to see John Entwistle.
Yeah, me too.
So that's fucking awesome.
He's my all-time favorite bass player. You know, when he died, I go, oh my God, and a friend of mine, cool dude, you know, but he was like, yeah, you're just saying that because he's dead. I was like, no. The Ox has always been my favorite bass player.
Oh, he's a great bass player. Not my favorite, but goddamn solid. And I was so pissed when when he died that they didn't get Johnny Rod to replace him. Because that made sense. A report says AC/DC to perform in Munich, Germany at a stadium next June. And yeah, I don't know how I feel, man. The cell phone shit I saw from Power Trip, I gotta say, man, I was not impressed with. And I'm not just bitching about fucking Brian Johnson here. I thought the guitars sounded off. And I don't, now you could chalk that up to being fucking rusty too. Look how long it's been since they've done a tour. Or maybe not gelling with fucking, their fucking third cousin or whoever's playing Malcolm's part now. I don't know. When I saw Power Trip, I was like, but it's fucking AC/DC. I mean, if they came through, I'd go see them. That's kind of sad. I would take a day to go see AC/DC, even if I thought they were going to sound like shit. Oh, we're going to see the Stones. But I mean, maybe that's because I've seen the Stones like 4 or 5 fucking times. But love AC/DC, goddammit. This bitch, fucking Robert Plant on Led Zeppelin's decision to disband following John Bonham's death. It was right for me.
Well, you know what? I'm glad it was right for him because I don't want no Led Zeppelin without John Bonham.
Yeah.
That's a band that did it right. You know, that broke up. They said, look, fuck this. You know, we're not going to continue without John Bonham. And he left such a great legacy because of that.
You know? It was interesting, though, reading that article. I had no idea that Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones were like, let's get another drummer. And it was Plant who really said no.
And I applaud Robert Plant for that.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine how shitty Led Zeppelin would be in the 80s? They would have been shitty.
You know how they would have been shitty? If they got Bill Ward.
Yeah, but Bill Ward was struggling with addiction at the time. So
I don't want to hear his white people problems. Get out there and drum. I like Bill Ward better than John Bonham anyway.
I do as well.
But that's neither here nor there. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
Led Zeppelin broke up at the right time.
Yeah. No, they didn't. They should have broke up after Presence.
They're kind of like the 70s Beatles. Because the Beatles ended at the end of the 60s and Zeppelin ended at the end of the 70s.
Yeah, but Let It Be is much better than fucking In Through the Outdoors. That shit sucks.
Technically, it's Abbey Road.
Yeah, that makes it sound even worse. Abbey Road's 10 times the album Let It Be is.
Yeah, no. Let It Be is not that strong, dude. It's got great songs on there.
It's good, but it's no Abbey Road. Abbey Road.
I mean, this is the Beatles. This shows you how incredible this band was. They did the whole Let It Be. They scrapped it. Come on, let's try another. And they ended up doing one of their greatest albums ever.
Yeah. And Zeppelin tried to do that, and they released Coda.
Oh, so that was bad.
Beatles win. Could you imagine? I mean, I can't imagine because by the time I was into Zeppelin, Coda was already in existence. My dad had it on vinyl. But could you imagine, the trauma of holy shit, there's no more Led Zeppelin. But hey, we got one in the vaults, and then you get Coda. And you're like, eh.
I bought it too. I bought the record when it was brand new, and I was pissed. Yeah.
The only thing worse than that would be the first Firm album. Holy shit. Or the second Firm album, for that matter.
I like one song off the second Firm album.
Which one? That All the King's Horses shit?
That song. Was it that song? Yeah, I think it was that song.
That was a single off the second song. Yeah, I didn't mind that. But I like Radioactive. You don't like Radioactive.
I didn't like that song, man.
Radioactive is the only song I like off the fucking first Firm album. That's just terrible.
I went to a Firm concert. The Sportatorium was sold out. I went to sneak in, and I got caught. And I never got to see the Firm, but I was there at the concert.
Here's something that surprised me. And I didn't read the article, so fuck, I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass here. But apparently Paul McCartney tried to convince Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson to tour together. I didn't even think Paul McCartney would know who the fuck Rush is.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of that's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool,
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of fuckers out there who hate Paul McCartney, and I don't get that.
How can you hate Paul McCartney?
I don't get it. Like, he's not even, John is my favorite Beatle. I'm that stereotypical motherfucker. But I love Paul McCartney. I love him, all the cheese and everything. I love that say shit. I love Spies Like Us. I love cheesy Paul, And even he's fucking Paul McCartney. God damn, Do
you know the whole story about Spies Like Us, that song?
No. Never heard
Who
it.
was it
Enlighten me.
who was it that directed that movie? Was it Dan Aykroyd that directed Guys Like Us?
Was it him or John Landis?
It might have been John Landis. Well, the story is Paul McCartney wrote the song, gave it to him, and they thought it was terrible. But they were too afraid to tell Paul that. So they released the song, terrible and all.
Wow. I still like it. I like No More Lonely Nights. I like that fucking horrible Give My Regards to Broad Street shit.
I saw that in the theater. I wasn't happy.
I've never seen it.
I saw it in the theater. I mean, there was some good parts, silly love songs they played, and some other ones, a couple of 2 or 3, but it was kind of a boring movie.
Yeah. Here's something I was kind of taken aback by. Gary Holt is not going to be involved with Kerry King's new band. Says he's too busy with Exodus. So it makes me wonder who in the fuck is going to play with Kerry King, and who would be a good mix for that. And we talked about this on the last one. I'm still kind of perplexed on who's even singing, because it was, long rumored that Phil Anselmo was going to be, the voice of the new Kerry King project. But with the success of the Pantera reunion and everything, looks like that's not happening. It is known that it's going to be Kerry King and Paul Bostoff, which I love Bostoff. I'm not a Bostoff hater. But be real interested to see who this new band is. And does he take I'm going to get an unknown guy so I don't have to pay a lot of money and I get the majority of everything, which, let's face it, Slayer is very money hungry. This band puts out more merch than the fucking Ramones, so Kerry King going to get paid. Bostoff, he going to get food allowance, but let's see who's singing and who's playing lead guitar. Very interesting to see.
I don't care because I don't like Slayer. They're evil, and I'm a poser.
Oh, man.
Not a fan.
Well, last story, unless you have something else, before we get into the album. Now, this is something I long suspected. And, a lot of people would say, oh, you're a conspiracy guy. This is like some QAnon shit. But it's just been released because Jason Becker, and this is so sad because of his ongoing medical costs and everything, he is auctioning the guitar that Eddie Van Halen gifted him. And that does break my heart.
Yeah,
that's terrible that this poor man, all he's gone through, and then here you have this guitar and you have to part with it just to pay your medical bills. But hey, that's our medical system, but I'm not going to get on a soapbox there. But anyway, so in the interview with Jason Becker, he's talking about, meeting Eddie, getting the guitar from him and everything. And it turns out that Eddie, it's kind of a dick move on Eddie's part, but Eddie gave him the guitar because he felt bad because this shit all happened after Jason Becker heard Van Hagar. That's when he started getting these symptoms and everything. Yeah, so Van Hagar is responsible for the poor condition that Jason Becker is living in, and that's just, it kind of did that to me emotionally, but I was able to carry on. But this poor guy, as a guitar player, and then he hears what happened when Dave left, and it afflicted him like this. It's really on Eddie, I think.
Yeah, he was horrified and got it. It wasn't like he liked it and became a liar.
Yeah.
Like other Sammy Hagar fans that just love to lie.
Yeah, it physically made him ill, and that's a terrible thing. But yeah, I don't know, that is fucked up, man. This poor bastard, Jason Becker, man. God damn. Could you imagine? Before you go home and you bitch about your fucking white people problems. Think about this asshole. You know, and I don't mean asshole, but you know what I mean. Think about Jason Becker. Has to use his eyes to fucking read and do all this shit.
You know, decades ago they only gave him a couple years, man. Look at him.
I know, and he's still alive, man. This guy's still kicking.
It's wild. It's wild.
And if I ever had a bad thing to say about Dave, which I normally don't, I wish Dave had done more for this guy. I really do. That kind of disappoints me.
You know what? Dave is the kind of guy that doesn't like to publicize this shit. Remember when he gave Michael Anthony?
That's true. He might have done some shit behind the scenes, but he didn't
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he's helped Jason a lot. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I would hope so. I hope I'm wrong there. I hope he did. And yeah, Dave has been known to do that shit. You know, and you know, another thing with Dave, a lot of people like to make fun of, like, oh, you know, he couldn't make it as a rock star, so he was a paramedic. Dave financially didn't need to do that. That's just crazy ass Dave. Like, I'm going to do this.
You know, Dave still lives at his dad's house, that mansion.
Yeah.
You know, he's a Jew. Something like that. You gotta. You have to have money, so you know he's still living there.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
You know, Dave's dad was on that episode, that show with, oh my God, Lifestyle Things.
Yeah.
There's an episode with Dave's dad.
I saw an episode of this show, like, my son was the best singer in fucking Van Halen.
Yeah.
And his dad was on that. But yeah, poor Jason Becker, man. That really does suck, man. He should be buried with that guitar, not forced to sell it to pay for fucking medical expenses.
Yep.
That's sad. Jason Becker, man. Awesome guitar player.
Awesome. I was into Jason Becker before he was in Dave. You know,
did you like that Cacophony bullshit?
Yeah. I own both of them, and I own what was the name? Perpetual Burn or something like that. The first, oh, it's great stuff.
I don't know. I'd have to give that Cacophony shit another chance.
I'm into stuff like that. Like I liked Maximum Security. What was his name again?
Oh, Tony McAlpine.
No, McAlpine. Yeah,
him.
I love Tony McAlpine. I got a lot of those Shrapnel type records. Yeah. I'm into those shredders, man, and but not all shredders, because there's like Guy Man Dude. That was a little too much, and it was just like, you know, and the guy from Nitro and Vinnie Vincent. It's all just nasty. Where I felt, you know, Dragon's Kiss from Marty Freeman was good, and I owned that before he was in Megadeth. I felt they were, you know, it's instrumental albums, but they were great melodic guitar playing, and there was of course some showing off, but it didn't take away from the songs.
Maybe I'll have to give it another chance. I remember listening to, you know, a buddy of mine, and I'll talk about him later in the show, but he was into that shit. I've never been a big Marty Freeman fan. I don't know. To me, he has no soul.
I will say Rust in Peace is overrated.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far, but to me, I don't know. I heard that Cacophony shit, and it reminded me of like 99% of Yngwie. No fucking soul.
I hate Five Magics. I hate Poison Was a Cure. I hate Hangar 18. The rest was great.
Oh my God.
The rest was great. The only good thing about Hangar 18 is the end of it. When him and Marty are going back and forth, I hate that song. I hate the way it starts. That's not Megadeth, man. It sounds like fucking Green Day.
Oh, come on now.
The Offsprings.
Come on now.
That's total fucking pop punk bullshit.
Fucking Risk sounds like fucking Green Day. All right, well,
Hangar 18 could have fit perfect on Risk.
Let's talk about an album we fucking love here. And the birth of heavy metal, with the debut album from Black Sabbath. Your favorite band?
Yes. Well, clarify, it's the 70s Black Sabbath.
Right.
They are not my favorite band after the 70s.
Yeah. Nobody's going to hold that Tony Martin shit against you.
Or Dio or Gillan.
Yeah, like I said, nobody's gonna hold that Tony Martin shit against you. Um, but fucking Black Sabbath, amazing. We haven't done this one, because this is okay. I'm with you. Fuck all that Blue Cheer bullshit and stuff. And I like Blue Cheer. Don't get me wrong. I like a lot of this proto metal shit. But this is fucking metal. You know, this is where it really all starts. Um, and the shit we know and love. Unless you're like a Hagar fan, then metal probably starts with fucking Pat Boone to you. Um, but holy fuck, listen to this album. This is some good shit. This is some good music. I love this shit. Do you remember the first time you heard this album, Ralph?
No, I heard the song Black Sabbath. I heard the song The Wizard, and I heard NIB, and I heard Warning, all off We Sold Ourselves to Rock and Roll. Because that was, my brother owned Paranoid, but I bought their, at that time, greatest hits. And it basically had almost a whole album on there. I think the only thing missing was Sleeping. Oh, yeah. Wicked World was on there, I believe. But I know Beyond the Wall of Sleep wasn't, and Sleeping Village. But I think the rest of that was on. So, yeah, the first time I heard most of this album was when I bought We Sold Ourselves for Rock and Roll.
Yeah. I can't remember the first time I heard this one either. And, I kind of realized doing this, this is probably, out of classic Sabbath, the album that I listened to the least. And it's probably for the fact that, what we got here in the colonies, 5 fucking songs. Even though shit's all split up and you don't know what's what. I mean, I'm sure there's nerds out there who know, well, at this second mark, that's when it says blah, blah, blah. Go fuck yourself.
There's some albums that doesn't have it listed as Sleeping Village. It's part of the warning. Or is it
right?
Bit of Finger is part of the warning. But then there's albums that have Bit of Finger and Sleeping Village.
Oh yeah, this shit's been released so many times and so many different, was it the original British pressing didn't have Wicked World, I believe.
Yeah, that evil.
It had Evil Woman. So yeah, I much like you, I can't remember the first time I ever heard this one, but I realized listening to this how much I took this album for granted because of that. Because I think if you're a Sabbath fan like us who've heard these albums so many times, I mean, shit like, NIB and Black Sabbath, you've heard ad nauseum. So I don't think these are the albums that you pick out when you want to hear Sabbath, because you've heard those a million times, a million different singers, on compilations and stuff like that. I just realized how much I slept on this one and left it alone. I would say this and, Technical are probably my 2 least listened to out of, the original Sabbath. But God damn. I listened to this album probably 5 or 6 times after we decided we were going to do this and was just blown away. And I felt bad for ignoring this album because I love this band, but it's like, how often do you listen to Paranoid?
Paranoid would be the one I listen to the least.
Yeah, I mean, believe it or we've talked about this a lot. For whatever reason, you and I both, when we're listening to old Sabbath, we go to Never Say Die a lot. Volume 4 is both of our favorites.
Sabotage.
Master Reality. All those I listen to more than this. But man, it felt good to go back and see where this shit originated from.
Give me 1 second. Keep talking.
Yeah. But god damn, it's so good and so different. But yet, being somebody who grew up on metal, there's a lot of shit familiar. But I just try to put myself in the headspace while I was listening to this. Like, imagine all you knew was like music before Black Sabbath. And then all of a sudden you hear this. I can't imagine what kind of culture shock this must have been. And like this whole new type of shit, which unfortunately you don't get in this day and age. You don't get anything groundbreaking. Everything is either plastic or derivative. So yeah, I this had to be, for someone like my dad who was very huge into Sabbath, but it's like he knew a world of Paul Revere and the Raiders, and the Beatles and the Stones, and then you hear something like this, it had to be revolutionary. And unfortunately, most of us, especially people younger than Ralph and I, you don't hear that much. That's like, okay, this changes the game. This is the showstopper. The only thing I can kind of think of is like maybe when people heard Eddie Van Halen for the first time, and heard a superior singer like David Lee Roth, it changes the game. But it invented a whole genre, and as much as there's people who say Cream and the Kinks and uh, you know what you call it, yeah, Hendrix and stuff like that. I mean, it's heavier, but it's still there's much more psychedelia where you don't get that. There's no psychedelics in this shit. This is just straight up creepy fucking heavy music. And it's mind blowing. And this is the blueprint for everything we know and love now. I mean, without this, who knows? What wouldn't have happened or how music would have took another direction. So yeah, it made me. I'm definitely going to have this more in the rotation now than I did before, because I think I really appreciate, especially listening to it in an album context. And not just hearing the song Black Sabbath or NIB or shit like that, man. Just listen to this thing from start to finish. Holy fuck. Some good, weird, wacky stuff here.
Yes, sir.
Wouldn't you agree, Ralph?
Yes, but I would like to interrupt the review because look at the cutest puppy ever.
Aww.
Her name is Kiddo. And she is so well behaved, and she's actually pretty smart too. Kiddo, she's the best. I love this little dog. It's my nephew's dog. My brother got very, very sick and my nephew had to go to work, so I drove to my brother's house. I got him some antibiotics, and my brother's not feeling well, so he couldn't take care of the dog. So I brought the dog over here with me. And it's been pretty fun hanging out with this dog all day.
Well, get well, Manny. First of all,
yeah,
Manny feels better.
Doing better now. But
your brother Manny's a cool cat. Love you, Manny.
So yeah, so I got Kiddo here, the cutest doggy ever.
She's adorable,
and she's tired. I think. Let me put her in her bed, see if she'll stay there. Because she seems like she's passing out. No, I think she wants to come back up with me. Well,
she got a shit or piss? You okay there?
Actually, that's what I was going to say. It's a smart dog because it pisses on the little piss pad.
Oh, you got a piss pad.
And it's
but that smells good.
Puppy, it knows.
Oh, well, she's adorable.
Yeah, but it takes a dump anywhere.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's an awesome dog. I love that.
But she's so cute, her shit don't stink.
Yep.
So there you go.
In an hour, my nephew will be here to pick her up. So it's been fun hanging out with her all day.
Now, an hour.
Sabbath.
Yeah, we better get into this.
All right, I'll take the first song, Black Sabbath. If I had my way, I'd change the title of this song to "Fuck Blue Cheer." It doesn't say Black Sabbath in the song at all. And I would add, how the song ends? Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Fuck Blue Cheer. Da-da-da-da. That's how I would have made this song. You know what I mean? And oh my god, it's a spooky song. Ozzy said when he first played this song to his parents, his dad was like, "Are you sure you're just drinking the occasional beer?" He thought
I
he
love
thought
that
Ozzy was
story.
on drugs. And yeah, what a fucking song, man! It's there was at that time it was all flower power, and there was yeah, you had your little anti-protest songs, but yeah, nothing how Black Sabbath did it. Black Sabbath was so evil, evil incarnate, and the music really. This song is just so, with the tritone, heavy, and then it's mellow, and then it just goes crazy. And of course, I mean, nobody would want to admit this, but it is the truth because according to Geezer Butler, Ozzy wrote the lyrics to the song Black Sabbath. So, hey, people try to argue with me about it. I go, dude, I got Geezer Butler on video saying that Ozzy wrote those lyrics. I mean, it all stemmed from a dream Geezer had where he woke up and there was a dark shadow in front of his bed. And he told Ozzy about it. And Ozzy wrote a song about it. He wrote the lyrics to it. And I think they're fucking awesome lyrics, And my God, and the heaviness of Bill Ward's unorthodox playing, killer solo with Geezer going ape shit while Tony's ripping it. Greatest band ever. Love Black Sabbath. What do you think?
Oh, well, I love it. The only thing that scares me is like Ozzy wrote the lyrics to this, and apparently the new album he's working on, it's the guy from Trickster. So I'm afraid there's going to be a drop off.
Yeah.
But I mean, from the minute it starts, with the sound effects and the rain and the thunder, and that's one of the minimal overdubs that was done on this album that was recorded in a 12-hour period. They recorded this, and there's, minimal sound effects, a couple of vocal overdubs, and a couple of guitar overdubs. And that's it. The rest of this is like 12 hours, just these young lads from Birmingham going in there and knocking this shit out. And it's a masterclass in less is more. If you listen to the space in this song and the breathing room and just that guitar, it's not like, but what he plays, what Tony plays is so effective, and then you listen to the bass from Geezer. And I read a cool quote where, he was talking about what bass players, how they normally played at that time. But he's like, I used to play guitar. So now I'm getting used to bass. And I'm kind of mirroring what Tony was doing. And it just made the sound that much thicker. And then you add Bill Ward in this, who to me is hands down the star of this fucking album is Bill Ward. I mean, even I love Ozzy. I don't think Ozzy really came into his own yet on this album. To me, I listen to this, all I hear is Bill Ward. Even more so over Geezer and Tony. I hear Bill Ward and how important he was to this band and the sound of that original lineup. To me, no true Sabbath without Bill Ward. But yeah, it's just the way it sets the mood, the tone, and it's slow and creepy. And I love, how they took let's do music that scares people. People love horror movies. Let's do scary music. And did they ever? But then what's cool about it is these aren't like, Hail Satan motherfuckers. These kids all grew up in the church and, they were brought up, this way. But it's them doing their interpretation. And it's much more real than, these bands from Norway with the stupid fucking makeup and burning churches. You know, that's not evil. That's stupid. That's like some millennial shit, you know, even though they did it a long time ago. But you know what I mean? I mean, that's stupid kid shit. These are people just being like real and trying to invent something new, and they fucking did it. God damn, do I love the title track. And I think I appreciate it more now than I ever did before. Because I think I kind of got to a burnout period with the song because I'd heard it so many times. But in the context of the album, listen to it from start to finish. Wow, what a way to open up the fucking album.
Oh yeah.
And then we go into the next song, The Wizard. Holy shit. You know? This is how long ago this was made. Back then, Ozzy blew. Now he sucks. You know? You got Ozzy on the fucking harmonica. And I even love what he did about that. You know, it's not any like tricky, like, you know, oh, I'm John Popper from fucking Blues Traveler shit. It's a simple, like, harmonic, you know, part, but it's so effective. You don't need to show off. It's almost like the harmonica is kind of like the guitar on this. You know, it's not. It's basic but effective, and it's cool. You know, like J.R.R. Tolkien shit. You know, Geezer even said this is like, you know, they wrote this up about Gandalf the Grey. You know, so it's back like when bands like, you know, Zeppelin and Black Sabbath would do cool shit about fucking Lord of the Rings. Now it's, you know, horrible power metal bands do this shit and take it way too fucking seriously, and it's like a joke. But this is like very effective. Again, the star to me, Bill Ward, just fucking. I mean, you're gonna hear that at nauseum, you know, on these few songs that we have to talk about. But amazing. I love this one. I've heard other bands cover it, and nobody even comes close. Even when Bill Ward and Geezer Butler did it, you know, on the tribute album with Rob Halford and Wino from St. Vitus and the Obsessed, that doesn't match the power of this at all. The Wizard is just fucking amazing. What do you think, Ralph?
I love it. I think it's an awesome song, but I hate the harmonica. Hate
Really?
it. I don't think it's
Really?
if you listen, the riff is what the harmonica's doing. I'd rather hear it without the harmonica. I want to hear the guitar do da-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na. I like to hear that. What's going on behind the harmonica, I love. And I love the song in general, especially when the harmonica's not playing. But this is my least favorite song on the album because of the harmonica.
Wow.
But okay. I'm not saying it's a bad song. I'm just saying it's an awesome song with horrible harmonica. That's the best I can say. Next is Behind the Wall of Sleep. Are you fighting?
Well, don't get it twisted. Let's shit the bed here. It's the Wasp Behind the Wall of Sleep, basically, in NIB. If you're an American, if you're a Yankee, that's what it's called.
Yeah, Behind the Wall of Sleep, classic, awesome. I love the fact that Sabbath played it on the reunion shows I saw.
Yeah.
It's just a great song, man. Real heavy, catchy. Nothing like it at the moment. This don't sound like Blue fucking Cheer. Blue fucking Cheer sounds like Jimi Hendrix. You know? So everybody out there that says Blue Cheer invented heavy metal, you're a racist.
Blue Cheer sounds like fucking Grand Funk Railroad with a broken amplifier.
Well, Grand Funk Railroad came out later, but I'm just saying, you know, people are racist that say Blue Cheer is the first. What about Hendrix? What did Spanish Castle Magic, which, by the way, Blue Cheer can never write a song as killer as that. But Spanish Castle Magic was heavy for the time. Fire was heavy. I Don't Live Today was heavy. Hendrix had a lot of heavy hard rock songs, but it wasn't metal. And then Blue Cheer, which, by the way, I own that album. What is it called? Something Eruptus with Summertime Blues.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I think it's a good hard rock album. But no way is that heavy metal. And no way it sounds like what Sabbath was doing on this album, where it was dark and doomy, you know? So basically, yeah, behind the wall sleep, fucking amazing, love it.
All right. Well, I'll let you come back to this. I'll do all of them in the way it's listed. Wasp. I don't know what the fuck that is. It's behind the wall asleep.
Yeah,
See my notes here. I love the evil shuffle of behind the wall asleep. I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it. Maybe it's not musically considered a shuffle, but I just like the weird beat to it. And again, I was like you when they did this shit on the reunion tour. I was like, oh, okay. Now that's some deep shit, you know. That's for the Sabbath fans. That's not for the paranoid motherfuckers, you know. Uh, Fucking love it. But I do believe like on a track listing, it should have been separate, you know, like okay, fuck calling it the Wasp part, just behind the wall asleep, and then go into NIB. But I'm reviewing the American edition here, where it's all like this fucking melody.
well, I think Wasp is dun 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 dun. Then Beyond the Wall of Sleep is dun dun, dun with a drum beat. But
Right. No, I know.
Behind the Wall of Sleep, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel the same way about basically an NIB.
Yeah.
You know, that it's all NIB, you know. Um, but I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's brilliant the way they lead into one another. You know, and the way it flows is amazing. And you know, I wish like when you'd see compilations that it was kept like this. I know that sounds weird because I say on one hand I say they should be separated, but it's like I enjoy NIB more when I hear all of this together. You know, I don't know. It's more of an event. Um, but you know, you go into basically, and yeah, I mean that's just amazing bass playing to me. Just you know, totally, it makes the bass stick out, which I think is a problem in a lot of music. The bass is so either buried or it's just playing too similar to what else is going on. Here's something where the bass sticks out, and I love when bass sticks out. I think it just you know fills everything up more, and definitely does that. And then you got NIB, which is just an all-time fucking classic. And you know, Geezer's come out and said no, it does not stand for Nativity in Black. It was a joke about Bill's, you know, chin beard that they said looked like a pin nib, which I guess is English slang for like the you know the ball point on a pin. I don't fucking know. I wish it was called Nativity in Black and not his beard. That kind of takes the cool out of it. But you can't take the cool out of the fucking song. It's just you know it's fucking amazing and just a masterpiece melody. What do you think of basically in NIB, Ralph?
What was very interesting is that whole Nativity in Black. Ronnie James Dio said that in that movie Black and Blue when he was on stage before they
Yeah,
introduced it. Oh, I always thought this song was meant to be called Nativity in Black, and I don't know. I think Ronnie James Dio may have come up with that. I'm not sure, but I know that's when I first heard it when I saw Black and Blue in 1980 at a midnight movie, and Ronnie.
right. But it makes you think because they have the you know the little dots in between you know the
Right.
letters and shit.
Yeah, but Nativity in Black. I mean, how? I don't know. Maybe if I sit
But
down for a little bit, I could think of something that would be evil with that acronym. You know.
yeah,
But my God, I love it. I love the bass solo. I don't like hearing NIB without the bass solo. I need to hear that intro.
yeah,
Where on We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll, there's no, it did have basically on there. But anyway, come on, The Devil Falling in Love. You know, it's fucking awesome, man. Who the hell was doing that back then? Nobody. Well, COVID, but you know what I'm trying.
right.
Um, it's and it was the first riff I ever learned on guitar when I first got my first guitar, and I got my first guitar like in 79, 80, and I was really into this album at that time, which I still am.
I re-
But the
you,
first
you got
album,
your first six string, bought it at the Five and Dime, played it to your fingers,
I
bro.
hate that fucking song, man. Fuck Brian Adams. Yeah,
Go into some Brian Adams hatred. I'm gonna take another piss.
yeah, it's like you recite those lyrics.
Everything I do it for you.
You recite those lyrics. It's like, yeah, I've heard that song a billion times. And I don't hate Brian Adams. I like Cuts Like a Knife. I saw Brian Adams. When I come up here now, I saw Brian Adams. What do you call at the baseball stadium? It was Foreigner. It was supposed to be Ozzy, but Randy Rhoads died 2 days prior, so they had to cancel. It was Foreigner, UFO, Pat Travers, who replaced Ozzy, and Brian Adams. And I think I knew one of his songs then. I don't know if it was Cut Like a Knife or album prior to that. Either way, I saw Brian Adams live. And I don't hate the guy, but man, I hate that. Summer of '69. I remember him being interviewed about that song. And he said, I was like, he was too young back then. So, he was a little kid. So what he was singing, my first real six string, he wasn't playing guitar back then. It was just a fiction song he wrote. But you listen to that song now, 40 years later, you probably think he was, it is a song, but no, it's not. And actually, I know that tidbit on a song I dislike. And all this time, Ian, I was talking about Brian Adams.
That motherfucker. Canadian. All right. Where are we now? Take the next one, which is Wicked Wild.
Yes. Oh, me take it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was my first version. When I bought this album, Black Sabbath, it had Wicked World. It didn't have Evil Woman. Oh, this is another killer, kind of a anti, war song, but it's not like, hey, we're gonna die. 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Who is that? Country Joe and the Fish?
Yep.
It sucks. Fuck Woodstock. Seriously.
I like that song.
Fuck Richie Havens.
Yeah, I ain't no Richie Havens fan.
Fuck them all.
And not because he's black, because his music sucks.
Yeah, it does. But he's probably in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He deserves to be.
Yeah. He went in with Jackson Brown.
Yeah, there you go.
Who's only in because his last name is Brown.
Yeah, and also that goes to show that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is into women beaters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, famously beat Daryl Hannah.
Yeah. Yeah, they love that. That's why they nominated him.
And his first wife killed herself because he was such a prick.
Really?
That's what that whole song, The Pretender, that big hit he had. Yeah, that's about his wife who killed herself.
I've heard it, but the one that I know, Running on Empty, Running On.
Yeah, funk that shit too.
But yeah, I'm sure I probably know The Pretender. I just can't remember how it goes.
Yeah, he should have been held out because of Lawyers in Love. That should have fucking kept him out. God, remember that shit?
I hate Jackson Brown so much.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. Sucks. But it's one of those Rolling Stone magazine darlings.
I know. But I want to beat him with like a Hagar pedophile fan. Just like grab the Hagar pedophile fan by the feet and just like slap him against Jackson Brown. Cool.
All Jackson Brown fans like beating their wives.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what put Jackson Brown fans above Sammy Hagar fans because, Jackson Brown fans beat adults.
Yeah. Oh, but I love it. I love Wicked World. Heavy, non-compromising. Another metal song off the first metal album. Wicked World rules.
I love it as well. If I had to pick a least favorite, though, it would be this. But that's not a slam, man. I mean, to me, every song here is a home run. Again, Bill Ward. You know, this album is the Bill Ward show. And I don't get to this day why he's not held in the same esteem as, you know, John Bonham and shit. Because to me, I mean, if you go back to this era, you know, I would say my three favorite drummers, even over, you know, a lot of people be like Ginger Baker, love Ginger Baker, but I would take Bill Ward, Ian Pace, and Mitch Mitchell from the Hendrix Experience. And I think it goes back to influences. I mean, these guys, you know, they took their influences from real drummers, but didn't do it like, you know, like Peter Criss. You know, they took it to another level, but they're still inspired by real drummers. And I think, you know, a lot of that has to be said. Look at the influences of all these musicians. You know, Geezer and Tony, and, you know, I love Ozzy, but I'm talking about the musicians here. You know, they were inspired by true, real good musicians, and everything gets watered down. I think that's why, like, you know, bands today suck so much, is they're inspired by a copy of a copy of a copy, you know, where these guys kind of like took, you know, their influences was like, you know, jazz drummers and shit. You know, they grew up with before there was rock and roll, but they made their own fucking sound, and it's just watered down now. You know, you don't hear anything innovative. You know, you just hear, you know, copies of shitty bands. You know, but this shit to me is like drumming fucking 101. You listen to this shit. I mean, seriously, Bill Ward is my favorite drummer of all time. And I know good drummers. And it's not Tommy Lee, you motherfuckers. You know, you listen to something like what Bill Ward does. Then you listen to every other drummer that's ever been in Black Sabbath. And I still stand by this. The closest to Bill Ward is Tommy Clitoris. You know, Vinny came in, and, you know, Vinny did Vinny. Vinny has a big sound, and I love Vinny and Dio, but he's no Bill Ward. And I know a lot of you people love to suck the fucking cock of Cozy Powell. I've never heard anything Cozy Powell's done that's better than what I've heard from Bill Ward. And you can take that rainbow shit and everything. I'm not saying he's not a capable drummer. He's a very capable drummer and a good drummer. But he's not Bill. Bill Ward's like next level shit. Stuart Copeland's next level shit. Neil Peart's next level shit. You know? And as much as I love, you know, Portnoy, a great drummer. But I hear Portnoy doing what's come before him, and he does it very capable. But I don't even, like, I don't hear Portnoy drum, and I'm like, oh, that's Portnoy. You know, I just hear a good drummer. Where with these guys, I hear a distinct sound, man, and the jazziness of it, and the looseness of it, and the little fills that they had. You know, that's what you know, like a drummer like Stuart Copeland, what he does with the cymbals is 10 times better than what most people do with the regular drums. And Bill Ward's got that, you know, he's got that jazzy fucking, you know, in the pocket, you know, but all over the place and off time and in time, but always sounds good and serves the song. And I don't know why he gets the disrespect that he gets, you know, and especially from Tony. And what I've kind of gathered together just by reading interviews and through history, Tony's got a fucking issue with Bill Ward. And I don't know, how can you do those two shitty fucking songs? I don't care what anybody says. Those two new songs on fucking Reunion were shitty. But on one, you use a drum machine when you have Bill Ward. Now, has Bill deteriorated that much?
No.
Or is there just some kind of, you know, because you know, I watched this video online, and by the way, I had to call Ralph because I was like, hey, this guy's using a ton of your fucking shit. This guy made a video about the Cross Purposes era and used a lot of Ralph interviewing Tony Martin. And they talk about when Bobby Rondinelli they didn't want to pay him, so he quit. They got Bill Ward back, and Tony was so like, oh, you weren't up to snuff. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. And then Sabbath gets back together at first in '97, and they got Mike Borden from fucking Faith No More, who I love. Why not Bill? Where's this disrespect for Bill fucking Ward?
Mike Borden was horrible in Black Sabbath. I thought it was a joke.
I think he's a great drummer. To tell you the truth, I was so fucked up when I saw Sabbath. That Ozfest.
I don't care how good of a drummer he is. He could not play well on Sabbath. He sucked.
You think it was bad, or do you think or do you think you had prejudice just because you hate Faith No More?
No. If he would have played good, I would have admitted it.
And I know he worships fucking Bill Ward.
I mean, listen to his drumming on Faith No More. That drumming put it in Sabbath. I mean, it just doesn't blend well. And he did okay. Wasn't he in Ozzy? He was all right in Ozzy.
Yeah,
he was okay. I have no complaints of him.
Yeah, but the drummer from Trickster can play fucking Ozzy drum parts.
Well, still, it was fine. I didn't complain. But then hearing him do, War Pigs and whatever the hell, Children of the Grave and all that shit. I only saw that once, and thank God the next Ozfest brought Bill Ward. But I just thought he sucked. He sucked in Black.
Yeah. But to me, he's the most underrated member of that band. He's so important to the sound, especially and I do like something you open up me to is Bill does drum differently on Heaven and Hell.
Yeah.
It is much. It's still incredible.
It's great, but it's in the pocket.
Right. Where it's much more loose with the Ozzy shit, But to me, that's what creates the Black Sabbath sound is that looseness, And as much as I love the Dio stuff, it is much tighter. It's, to me, just as good, but in a different way. But that looseness and that jazzy feel.
I like Born Again over the Dio albums with Sabbath. That's my favorite Sabbath after Ozzy is Born Again.
But to me, even on that is different than the Ozzy shit, and it's different from the fucking the Dio stuff.
Yeah,
I think the Born Again drumming is closer to the Ozzy era, but it's still different.
It's different. It's a little more adventurous than Heaven and Hell, but it's not as sporadic and organic as the Sabbath.
But even look at the bass playing. Is organic with classic Sabbath, but the bass playing is still prominent and stuff on the Dio stuff. But they never got that drum sound back. And as much as I think it sucks that the farewell tour they got Tommy Clitoris, but every video I saw, he came the closest to that loose jazzy feel. And I'll give him all the props for that, And I would never expect that, somebody who came from, Rob Zombie, where you're basically a human drum machine. I know he played with Cooper too. But I thought, he did good. But yeah, Wicked World, least favorite, still love it. And then we go into the last song. Or cycle of songs, I should say.
You want to talk about Young Woman?
Yeah, I thought we were going to do that. I thought we'd do that last, though.
Okay, we'll do it last.
Bitterfinger, Sleeping Village, and The Warning. And that's another one of those where I'm like, okay, fuck, what's what? I wish either they were separate tracks or they broke the time fragment down. But to me, it's just like Sleeping Village. And then The Warning. Love them both. Love the way it goes together. Here's something I did not know, and I can't believe this because I like to think I know it all, or at least a lot, or more than the average guy. I didn't know that The Warning was a cover.
You don't remember my review, man?
No.
Yeah, the drummer of Journey.
Yeah, Ainsley Dunsmore. Yeah, Ainsley
and
Dunbar.
Starship. He was in Starship for a while.
Yeah,
And
Journey.
the White
And Frank
Snake,
Zappa.
the White Snake '97 album.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah, Ainsley Dunbar is my. See, I think I hold Ainsley Dunbar in higher esteem than Cozy Powell, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, yeah, Ainsley Dunbar, who got kicked out of John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. Who, God damn, you'd need 57 fingers to count all the great musicians who came out of John Mayall. But yeah, he got kicked out of John Mayall and started a band called Ainsley Dunbar's Retaliation. And he called it that because he got kicked out of John Mayall. But they did this song, The Warning. And what I think is funny, another thing I learned today doing research is Ozzy mishearing the lyrics, where the whole the title, The Warning, and the original lyric is, I was warned about you, baby. And Ozzy misheard and said, I was born without you, baby. But it just stayed that way. I think that's fucking hilarious. But I love it. And it's crazy for me to know that this is a cover now, because it has all the elements of Sabbath to me. Doesn't sound like a cover where, the next song we talk about sounds like a cover, feels like a cover. Spoiler alert, I love it, but it just sounds so out of place with the rest of the album. But this sounds like Sabbath. And to me, probably my favorite Ozzy vocal on the record is The Warning. I think he just sounds great here. There's other songs where I hear moments of Ozzy, but I know he's going to get even better. And for people who bitch about Ozzy and say he can't sing and blah, 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 listen to the whole Sabbath Bloody Sabbath record. I think is the best singing he's ever done. Amazing. And you would never hear him like that again. Moments on Sabotage, but man, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. But back to The Warning. I think it's awesome. I love the looseness of it, how it goes in, it goes out. It comes back together at the end. There's a showcase for every member in this song. There's those great Tony parts, those great Geezer parts, like the rest of them, amazing, Bill Ward parts. But Ozzy, man, his vocals on this are my favorite, definitely my favorite vocals on the record. What do you think about Bitterfinger, Sleeping Village, Warning?
This, and I don't care if it's a cover or not, is my favorite song off the album. It wasn't always that way, but I say maybe like over 10 years. I know when I did that review, I'm pretty sure I got to go back and look at it. I said it was my favorite song off the album. My God. And I love the little Tony Iommi ripping part in the middle. This is a great example of a killer long song.
Yeah.
A lot of songs back in the 70s that wasn't done by Yes are great. They're great. The long song, a lot of Stranglehold from Ted Nugent, Freebird, Highway Song, Blackfoot. All these
Tarkus by Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Yeah, fuck that.
Hey, you like that song? I watched your review.
Oh, I did? What was it again?
Tarkus. It's the only song I like on that album, but I fucking love it.
Is that Emerson? Okay.
Yeah,
I remember it had a cool album cover with that big.
Yeah, with the tank.
Was it Armadillo or something?
Yeah, that's a good song. The rest of the album sucks cock.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember I did review it for Jacob Smith, my good friend, who got me into Tunnel Giant.
Love that guy.
Giant opened for Black Sabbath at the Hollywood Bowl.
Nice.
Anyway, I love The Warning. It's my favorite song off the album. I don't give a fuck if it's a cover or not. I went back on YouTube and heard Ainsley Dunbar version, and it's great. Savage has made it better, but the original is good. I really dug it. So there you go. That's what I think of this song, and then we go into Evil Woman.
Yes.
Now, I would put the Wizard over Evil Woman, with harmonica and all. And it's not a bash on Evil Woman. Evil Woman, like you said earlier, it doesn't sound like Black Sabbath. It sounds like a cover song. It sounds like a song that was written specifically for the radio. And I think that's what they did.
And that's what it was. They were pressured by their I don't think it was their man. I can't remember if it was the manager or the producer said we need something a little bit more commercial, and Tony was against it. The rest of the band was like okay with it. Tony was kind of like but he went along with it. I mean, they were young, But yeah, but I mean, I love like those fills that Geezer does on it.
That's the best part of the song for me.
And it's catchy as fuck. And I wish I could find this because I know so many people love, my old, calling the band is kind of crazy, but Blood Sausage. We got my death metal version of I Don't Believe in Love, but we did a version of Evil Woman. And I don't know, Gary Gunn, the Gun Show, friend of mine, and Tim Breams, aka Sinkin' Stanley. I wish he had a copy of it. I know it sounds like shit, but still, yeah, we did a cover of this just because we thought it was so cool. And he was the bass player; he wanted to do it because of those great Geezer fills. But yeah, I could see why this was kept off the American version. Actually, I'm a little surprised because a lot of times the American version they would put more commercial stuff on there. But yeah, this was kind of forced on them to like, oh wow, this is some evil shit nobody's ever heard. We got to have something so we can sell this record. But I still like the song,
Right on.
All right. Well, that is our review of the first heavy metal album, Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath. This was produced by Roger Bain and engineered, for you metalheads who pay attention, engineered by Tom Allman, who was known to produce, the very successful era of Judas Priest. What did Tom Allman start with? I think he started with Unleashed.
No, I believe it was, Unleashed, yeah, it was.
Yeah, he did Unleashed through, I believe, Ram It Down.
Yeah,
was all produced.
Yeah, Tangerine's Painkiller.
Yeah, and then he had a co-producing credit on Firepower, and I think he produced the live album Battle Cry, I think was done by Tom Allman. But I mean, just a fun factoid there. Another guy with metal history. Was originally released on Friday, February 13th, 1970 in England. We wouldn't get it over here in the colonies to July 1st. But god damn, I mean, what an important album. And, it's kind of funny when you think about it. This is episode almost like, 400 basically of this show. But, there's certain albums Ralph and I in the beginning were like, well, we can't do this now. We got to have longevity to this show. Little did we know. I don't think either one of us ever thought we'd still be doing this shit a decade later. But then again, all these other podcasts suck, so we had to pick up the slack and keep going.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna get this shit on Joe Rogan Experience.
Or Freeform.
Yeah. Who? I did it with a wink.
Yeah. Keep winking. What an idiot. Guy's such a fucking liar. God. Mark Alden poser. What are you?
What? You're going to get your ass kicked, Ralph. You need to calm down.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm weak, he says. Bitch. Just try it. You big for nothing. Galoot. You're a galoot. Whatever the fuck that is. Mark Alden galoot.
Shove a fucking corn dog stick up his booty hole.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, just an amazing fucking album. A pleasure to talk about this, and I think it's probably rare that we have listeners who don't know this album, but a lot of them could have been like how I was, kind of took this shit for granted or maybe didn't listen to it in its proper context. I mean, that's a great thing about, 70s and good 80s era albums. They were meant to be listened to from the first song to the fucking last. They weren't fucking 75 minutes long. This album's like under 40 minutes and it's a fucking masterpiece, and the flow of it, everything's fucking perfect. It's Black Sabbath, the first and, the greatest heavy metal band of all time. I mean, as much as I love other bands, Judas Priest, all your other, shit like that, I consider Van Halen like what Dave calls it, big rock. To me, that's not metal. It's just big rock. Perfect analogy. This is heavy metal. And God damn, thank God we have it, just fucking amazing. All right. Well, now it's time to go into pick of the week. And Ralph, do you have a pick of the week?
Nope.
Me either.
Oh, you don't?
No, I'm not prepared. I got off of work. I listened to this album for like the 6th time and didn't even think about it. But if I had to pick one right now, I'm going to pick something off the wall. And not off the wall. But it's Sabbath related. How about that? You couldn't get it makes no sense with what we're talking about, but it's Sabbath related because it features a Black Sabbath drummer. Even though he never played on an album, this album features the musical stylings of Bev Bevan. And I'm going to go with ELO's 1979 album Discovery.
Yeah.
And it is their disco album in a way, it has Don't Bring Me Down.
I love that Wally song. What was that song? Wally something?
Ballad of Horace Whip. I don't know that.
Yeah,
yeah. But I love shit like Last Train to London. I love
very disco,
that song.
Very disco.
And God, what's the other one? It's kind of a ballad. I can't remember the fucking name of it. But I mean, if you like some ELO, even if you're just like, well, I like this song I hear on the radio, check it out. If you like disco, but you're like, I don't know any ELO, and it's not like Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, but you can tell they're incorporating disco elements to it. But I just love ELO, and I think it's one of those, I bought it just because it Don't Bring Me Down, but I was pleasantly surprised on how solid it is. It's just a good fucking ELO album. Wishing. That's a song I was thinking of. I'm wishing. You'd know it if you heard it, Ralph. Good fucking song.
I love that album. I'm a big ELO fan. I was into ELO before I was into Black Sabbath. ELO,
right?
Before I was into Kansas. ELO, I was really into as a little kid. They were like my first real, favorite band at that time. Because I didn't fully develop, but still, the song "Do Ya" and "Telephone Line" and "Evil Woman." Shit.
You know what's funny is I love "Do You" by ELO now. But I heard Ace's version first. And when I heard ELO, I was like, this sucks. I like Ace's version better. No, and now I'm the complete opposite.
It's actually a Move song. It originally was a B-side for the band The Move that had.
Yeah.
And Ron Wood, the great.
Roy Wood.
Roy Wood, the great guy that Cheap Trick influenced a lot. It was a B-side of a Move song that, took ELO, 3-4 albums for them to redo it. But the Move version is really good. It's a little more raw. It's pretty awesome. So great album.
Is your dog playing with a squeak toy?
No, that's like my chair. My leg moves nervously for no reason.
Oh. Okay, calm down. We're just being played all over the fucking planet Earth.
The
Don't get
dog's passed
nervous.
out in front of me.
Oh, she's a sweetheart.
She's out. She's out of it. But
All right. What's your pick of the week?
my pick will be ELO as well.
Oh, okay.
From Birmingham, England. There's another connection to Sabbath.
Yeah.
Out of the blue. The
double album. Yeah.
Great double album. You know, a couple clunkers. That's why I say, man, short albums are better. But, you know, Mr. Blue Sky, Turn to Stone.
Oh, Turn to Stone.
Oh,
love that song.
Jungle. God, there's so many good songs on that album. It's Over. It was very well promoted. I remember when I was a little kid, you know, all the record stores had big ass.
Well, that was probably when you said that was probably the height of ELO.
That was the biggest ELO was. They had a UFO as a stage.
Yeah.
And I was really, I mean, I owned every ELO album except for the first one. I couldn't find that one.
Yeah, but you had to get that as an import for the longest time.
I got it now, but back then I owned a New World Record. I owned On the Third Day.
ELO 2.
I owned ELO 2. Yeah. And all the way up to Discovery.
You know, what's the one with the ruby slippers?
El Dorado.
Another great album.
That's probably my favorite, El Dorado. And that was the one that the preachers went crazy for during the Satanic Panic. Yeah. All the episodes played out because that album starts with backward masking.
Yeah.
And what it says is turn back, it's just saying turn back. It's not satanic at all, but you know, it sounds satanic because it's a deep voice and stuff. Yeah. But can't get it out of my head. It's one of the greatest songs ever.
Meanwhile, those same preachers went home, played the first Montrose album, and let little kids fuck them in the ass.
Yeah. In their bad motor scooters.
Yeah. All right. Well, those are our pick of the week. It's funny we go from the first metal band ever to ELO, but goddamn, good music is good music.
To a band that John Lennon called the Sons of the Beatles. John Lennon called ELO the Sons of the Beatles.
Yep. All right. Well, now it's time to go into fan of the week, and I
got one.
Okay. All right. Well, then you. Who?
Charlie Hill.
Oh my God, that's a legend there.
Yeah, you know, I mean, when the last time I talked to him, he was talking about one of our latest episodes. You know, Charlie Hill ain't on Facebook anymore.
Yeah,
but he still listens to us, man. So shout out to Charlie Hill. I'll be seeing him in late January. We're gonna go see Cheap Trick, and this is interesting. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it. But Cheap Trick is playing in West Palm Beach in some Beatles festival. So is Cheap Trick going to play nothing but Beatles stuff? I hope so.
As long as they don't play the Doctor in its entirety.
I love the Doctor, dude.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Nobody likes the Doctor.
Dude, the Doctor is kind of like Dada. It's weird. And
I
love the Doctor. Fuck Busted and oh my God, that real bad one, that special one.
Oh. See, there's some songs I really like on the special one.
But you know what? The worst Cheap Trick album is Standing.
Rockford is what?
Standing on the Edge.
Yeah, but that's got some good songs on it too.
No, it doesn't. It has one.
Doesn't that have Tonight It's You?
Yeah, that's the only good song on it.
Yeah.
There's a song on there that's kind of like a Poison ripoff. I mean. A hair metal song. It was just terrible.
Yeah, but Doctor sucks. So no, Charlie Hill, that's a fucking legend. And you can't mention Charlie without mentioning the beautiful Daniela Hill, his wife.
Yeah.
You know, that's a package deal right there.
Yep.
Love those two. You were at their wedding. I saw them on their honeymoon. I mean, that's just family. Or as we say in the Latino community, familiar. Is that how you pronounce it?
What, you think I listen to you?
Anywho, that's a
There's
that's an
only one
amazing.
thing I can say bad about Charlie Hill, though. I mean, you want me to say it on the show? I mean, it's pretty bad. All right, I'll tell
Oh,
you.
that he paid
No,
to go see Def Leppard and Motley Crue.
no, worse than that.
Oh no, there's not worse than that.
Yeah, there is.
No.
When you and I weren't talking, fighting,
Yeah.
Charlie
Yeah.
came up to me trying to fix our friendship. And I thought that
Yeah.
was super lame. Horrible thing for him to do.
No, that was awesome. That was awesome. He's good people.
Love Charlie.
Good people. And I also want to send a shout out to, I think that's amazing because he is a Hall of Famer with the Rock and Metal Combat podcast. But I also want to send out, like a special shout out to all the new people. There's been a lot of new people who have joined the page. And I've been very inactive in the last year on the page compared to what I used to be. So I don't get to know a lot of these people. But the
You need to
fact
make
that
me an administrator.
I thought you were.
No, I'm not. Not cool. Not
Oh,
cool.
okay.
See, Charlie, that's why I didn't want to be his friend. He doesn't want to make
Oh.
me an administrator.
Oh, I thought you were. I thought I made you an administrator.
No, you did not.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll make you administrator. So you new people better watch the fuck out because I'll get rid of you.
Oh, I'll delete all your asses.
You say some stupid shit.
You know, I've had 2 or 3 people attack me on the podcast. They don't know who I am. Yeah, there's people part of the podcast page that don't even listen to us.
Oh, well, fuck. Hold on a second here. We're going to take care of this shit right now, and you good people are going to listen to this shit while I do it. Because, I mean, what the fuck else are you doing? Okay, let me go to the page here. Let's see. What would I go to for that? Manage. Okay, let's go to manage. Doesn't take me anywhere. Oh, administrator.
Yeah. Make sure you get the right Ralph Vieira.
All right.
My main picture, I'm sitting in front of my records.
All right, let's see. View members request, contact. You people gotta listen to all this shit. How do I do this? View member requests, your content, manage notifications, leave. No, I don't want to do all that. There should be like an add Ralph button. Let's see here.
I think you find me, and then next to it, there's options.
Oh, here we go. Administrators and moderators. Okay, here we go. Let's see. See all admins.
Okay. And by the way, what you're hearing below as Ian's doing this is some ELO.
There you go.
From Birmingham,
all right. England. Maybe I need to click on your thing and then add you.
I think like if you find Ralph Vieira in the friends, there's a little option next to it. I'll tell you, make it.
Which picture is it? Is it the one with you with the glasses?
In front of my records, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that one.
So let's see here. What can I do? What the fuck? Go back. See, I hate all this shit. Administrator, assistant. Let's see.
ELO, man.
Yeah. Damn.
I wish I could hold up the puppy, but the puppy looks so fucking cute, all passed out in front of me. I don't want to wake him up. Her up. Kiddo. That's her name. Kiddo.
That is cute. Let me try this. Members. Find a member. Oops.
Stretching in front of me. So cute.
PH. Okay, here we go. I see you. Invite as administrator. Here we go. Okay. I
Do I have
sent you I sent you an invite.
Oh, so I got to accept it.
Oh, is that what I just heard? Ding.
Uh, yes.
All right. Well, then hit accept.
Well, I got to do it after the show because I am low on what do they call that stuff on the phone? Data.
Oh, okay.
I'm low on
All
data,
right.
so I got to do
All
it.
right. Well, you got an invite, so little warning: don't be a douchebag, because Ralph don't suffer douchebags too well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put up with your crap if you start anything with me.
Yeah,
You're gone.
And then I'm a let this be said. I said it before in the past, but I guess it bears repeating because I thought Ralph was already administrator again. So if Ralph chooses to delete you for whatever reason, don't come crying to me because I want him to have equal power. So if you like really offend him and he says, "Hey, I don't want this person on the show," even though I might be cool with you, if you do something to piss him off and you get gone, he's got just as much say. So you're gone. I can't bring you back.
Well,
So
I mean, don't even listen to these fools because I do not delete people, unless they really, really, really deserve it. I was attacked a couple times on the podcast page. I got to tell you, it was like 2 or 3 times. I think 2 of them I wouldn't have blocked the dude. I would have left.
like recently or
Yeah, well, no, not that recent. It's been months.
oh.
But one was really rude. And even Samuel Wetz ran to my defense because the guy was going off on how I'm a nobody and this and that. And then Samuel Wetz.
Who was this?
I don't remember, man.
Oh shit.
I don't remember.
Right.
I get it. The thing is, I get attacked every day on YouTube, so it's kind of a blur. On YouTube, it's hilarious. You're rude to me on YouTube. I hide you where your comment stays there, and you can still comment on my videos, but nobody can see you, just you. So I know there's a lot of people on YouTube saying you suck, Ralph, like a million times, but I only saw it once, and then I just hit them.
All right. Well, let all the haters know your ass has been put on notice. Ralph is an administrator as soon as he charges his phone.
Well, after this episode, I get on my computer and I can do it on my computer.
Yeah.
No problem.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you everybody for checking out this episode. Whether you're listening to it as a podcast or you're watching it on our YouTube channel, and just a reminder, join that fucking YouTube page. Hit subscribe. Smash the like button. Make sure you get all notifications because we're getting back into a regular mode here. Happy Thanksgiving to all you motherfuckers out there.
Happy Thanksgiving. And like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms.
That's right. And you're going to get not 1, but 2 episodes on Thanksgiving because we're going to put up this episode and we're going to put up our Q&A that we did live on YouTube the other night. So
yes, all
maybe
on Podbean. It'll be on Podbean. As soon as
persuade you motherfuckers to join our Patreon.
As soon as Ian puts the Black Sabbath episode up, I put this episode, the video version, because you're going to get the music version. You get to hear killer jams under us.
Yeah.
And a funny thing, I sent you the Q&A, right? And I'm here adding music to it, but then halfway through it, I realized this is a Saxon episode, So I went and downloaded the video because it's only on video. And
something happened. Something happened when you sent me the Q&A. I had to send something back to you, so you might have to reauthorize me for that one.
Okay.
But do that, and I'll put both of those up tomorrow. And because some people want to hear the shit with the music that you get on the podcast version. Some people want to look at us. A lot of the Sammy Hagar fans like to look at us and then fuck themselves in the ass with the dildo. I get it.
And look at us and fantasize we're toddlers.
Yes, we're very attractive people with a youthful appearance. You'd never know that we both are senior citizens. But if you enjoyed this, come back. We're going to record. This is Wednesday night. We're going to record again on Friday. And then we're going to put that motherfucker up. So everybody was like, oh, we ain't had episodes. You can get episodes out the fucking yin yang. Enjoy, motherfuckers.
And it's gonna
Celebrate.
It's going to be something we want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. We're still getting to the fan episodes that we have left, but we're mixing it in with some shit we want to do. And if you're into that shit, come back next week to the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
Smack 'em a gob.